Alrighty then. So you've already discussed it, but today we're talking about the area in the real world. That was a TV show once upon a time. So you should have watched this video and you played around on the website and got that good practice in on how to use a ruler. Now we're going to get into our lesson. I'm going to be explaining everything that you're going to do, and then I'm going to give you an example of what it should look like. Don't get overwhelmed. I've broke everything down into steps on your Google Slides that you'll turn in after this lesson. Just be patient, breathe, just watch. You got this. Okay. You've already painted the wall. You've already figured out what color you wanted it to be, and you went ahead and shaded in the wall, minus the door, the bulletin board, and the window, because, I know, we don't paint those things. Then you've already estimated what you think the area of the whole wall is. You multiplied your length times width. That was just an estimation. Now we're going to get into the actual lesson part of it. So we have this wall, and we want to paint this wall, but of course we don't want to paint the door, the bulletin board, or the window. So we're going to figure out how many gallons of paint we need by filling out this handy-dandy, really cool table I made for you. If you're on campus, you have a STAR resource worksheet that has a ruler on the edge of it that you'll be using to measure it. And you also have a paper printout of this. If you are a distance learner, you have a slide that already has it pre-measured out and it's already labeled. So what you're going to do is you're going to be putting that information from either measuring it or looking at the pre-measured slide, and you're going to be putting it into the table. You're going to be using inches. You're not going to be using feet, because obviously this isn't an actual wall. It's a little piece of paper or a little screen in your Chromebook, so we're going to be using inches. And you're going to measure to the nearest quarter inch. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4 is obviously the next hole. You can also represent it with decimals. Decimal 2.5, decimal 5, decimal 7.5. Those are equivalent, okay? Then you're going to add up the door, bulletin board, and window so that you have a total area of those three things we are not going to paint. Then you're going to subtract those from the area of the wall that you actually measured or that you took from the pre-measured document. You'll answer these two questions, and then you'll move on to your exit ticket, which is just another game of more measuring fun. So, advisors, if they got it, let them go. If they don't, let me give you a clear-cut example of what I'm looking for. You, distance learners, have something that looks similar to this, where it is all labeled. On campus learners, you are labeling this, so you are doing the measuring. You're going to use that in order to fill out this table. So you can see, if you look at my measurement, I'm pointing to my screen. If you look at the measurement of the wall, let me use my mouse, it says length 6.5. So if I go back, let me go back. My wall here, my length is 6.5 inches. I measured that, or I took it from the one that was pre-measured. No, the answers are not the same as the one that you have. So then you look at your width, you write it down, you multiply length times width, and that's going to give you the area of the whole wall. Okay? You do that for door, bulletin board, and for window. You're always using inches. You're always measuring to the nearest quarter inch. So for example, if I had this, I would multiply my door, 1 5/10 times 3 5/10 gives me 5 25 hundredths inches squared. So that's the area of my door that I'm not going to paint. My bulletin board, is 2 7/500 inches times 2 inches gives me 5 5/10 inches squared. I'm not going to paint that either. Don't want to cover up T-Rexy. And then my window is 1 7/500 inches times 1 5/10 inches, which gives me 2 625,000 inches squared. So now I have the areas of the things I'm not going to paint. I need my area of my wall though. 6 5/10 times 3 7/500 equals 24 375,000 inches squared. So now I have the total of the wall, and I also have the total of the area, or the areas of the things I'm not going to be painting. So I need the total area of all the things I'm not going to be painting. So I'm going to add the door, the bulletin board, and the window together, and I get 13 375,000 inches squared. That's what I'm not going to paint. So now I have to take what the total area of the wall is, and I have to subtract what I don't want to paint from that. When I do that, I get 11 inches squared. 11 inches squared. That's the total area of the wall that I'm actually going to be painting. Now, how many gallons of paint, let me move my head, how many gallons of paint do I actually need if each gallon covers 5 inches squared? I need 11 inches squared covered. So will 1 gallon cover it? No, that's only 5. 2 gallons? No, it's only 10. Close. But nope. 3 gallons? Well, that'll cover 15. That's definitely enough. Definitely enough. So I'm going to need to go to the store and buy 3 gallons of paint to cover the entire wall. And then I have some left over in case, someone gets a marker and draws on the wall or spills food on the wall and you have to wipe it all off and the paint comes off with it. Not that I've experienced any of these things, but it's nice to have some spare paint around so you can do those touch-ups. And that, my friend, is what you're doing. After that, you'll jump to your exit ticket, which is making sandwiches with measuring. You got this.